Hey guys, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time it's another Before It's Out video. Now, if you guys don't know what Before It's Out is, basically it's a web series of videos where I'm taking a look at a Transformers toy, or in this case a third-party toy, before it ever gets released. And for today's video, we are taking a look at the Planet-X Pluto figure, which is basically a third-party version of the Fall of Cybertron Megatron. So this figure hasn't been released, so take everything with a grain of salt. I'm just taking a look at the photos and basing my opinion, my early opinion, on that. So, taking a look at the alt mode, it looks really cool. Now, the Fall of Cybertron Megatron design isn't really a complex one as far as the alt mode is concerned and transferring from robot mode into the alt mode. It's not like the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime that needed a little more work into it. Megatron goes from an alien spiky style jet, and I feel like you can get away with a lot more with that style. But at the same time, it looks really cool. Definitely looks more closer to the animated version of Megatron, if you guys remember that for the Cybertronian version. But definitely looks like the Fall of Cybertron one, of course, which is, I believe, inspired by the animated one, so there you go. It's got the huge cannon on the top, so that's pretty awesome. The big sword at the front that you can attach is optional. You don't need to have that, but still cool nonetheless that you can have a place to put it, and it really doesn't look too bad. I love the spiked look of it. I also like how it kind of looks backwards, because in the Generations Megatron, the legs formed the back of the main Megatron figure. And in this one, it's the other way around. So that's pretty cool. Not to mention that the stripes on the side kind of give it like I don't want to say tribal look, but it gives it a nice pattern to it, a nice scheme to it that I really do like. And then going into the robot mode, if the picture will load, I can't, okay, there we go. Very cool, very beefy, which is very nice. Every time I look at it, I think, did they just pull it straight from the game? Because this is what it looks like from the game, at least from what I can remember. Very cool. I love the head design on this thing. I think it's very nice. The arms are very chunky, and they've got these kind of like triangle like angles and stuff like that to it that really just feels fitting. If anything that I just said made sense. There's a lot of transparent purple to the figure, which evokes the Dark Energon theme and the Decepticon theme, so that's pretty cool. You can add the weapon to his hand if you want, so that's pretty nice. And then, of course, he's got the giant fusion cannon, which is pretty cool. Now, in the Generations figure that I was just messing around with recently, that's actually kind of why I want to do this video. I noticed that the fusion cannon on that looks a lot bigger compared to this, at least relative to the size of the Megatron figure that they're with. The cannon that the Generations one came with was about the same height as the Megatron itself from the feet to the head. For this one, it seems a lot smaller, but that's more because of the in-game design, not because of the toy design. It's just something that I wanted to mention. And I like the legs, I like the knees for some reason. Just the front of the legs and the knees, there's something to it, there's something about that pattern that I really enjoy. But yeah, the only thing I could really say is that actually kind of bothers me, but it doesn't really bother me, if that makes sense. It's basically me nitpicking at something that doesn't really need to be nitpicked, but I guess it will make sense if I explain it. The wings are just sitting on the back, but I believe the design actually had that. So I can't really say that that's a problem. It's just when I look at it, that's my immediate thought. So it's not really a flaw of the figure. It's just in my head, that's an immediate thought that, oh, there's that little bit of kibble that they could have done nothing with. But no, I believe the original CGI design had that. I could be wrong about that, but I believe it did. But either way, it flows with the spikes on his back, so that's pretty cool. And he's got this really chunky look. He's got all these curves and lines and whatnot that just evokes this bulky, this strong, this powerful style to him that I really do enjoy. And you can flip up his chest and you can show off his little spark thing if you want to do that, which is pretty cool. And something that I didn't even notice is the fusion cannon inside it has that kind of hexagon pattern to it, which I really do like. In fact, most of the lights seem to have a certain pattern to them, which is something that you'll notice in the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron games, is that sometimes they'll have a hexagon or some kind of pattern to it. And they'll have a lot of those lights, which is something that was kind of significant about the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron games. Like, that's what kind of made it a little bit more unique, because you don't get as much of that compared to like the style in Prime and Generation 1 and even the movies and such like that. So it was a pretty cool aesthetic nonetheless. So with that out of the way, Planet-X has done a fantastic job on transferring the Fall of Cybertron Megatron design onto this. Now I'm still seeing some people complain, like I saw someone say that the fusion cannon was placed wrong, and some people have debunked that. I'm not going to really argue with that. But either way, I think the placement of the fusion cannon is just fine. I'm not going to really complain about it. And then I heard from some people that the coloring might be a little bit off, but I don't know. This is kind of what I remember from the game. Maybe a darker color for the gray, but I don't mind the light gray. Still, nonetheless, it's a pretty cool looking Megatron. And I think some of the people who are nitpicking this is missing the fact that it's a pretty cool looking Megatron. I mean, it just is. It looks like the in-game version, pretty much. You know, there might be some small or minor things that are an issue, which is completely fine, of course, to bring it up. But I think for the most part, I don't really have any complaints other than probably the fins on the back. But that's more of just the mindset that every time I look at that, I think, well, that's kibble. But again, I've already explained that it's probably not. So anyways, with that said, I thank you guys for watching. Will you guys purchase this figure? Comment below. Let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. Is there another third-party figure coming out that you guys want to see me do a before it's out video? I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to do it, but I kind of want to go into more third-party territory. So with that out of the way, I thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads, and I'll see you guys next time.